Hey folks, my name is Rick and this is Ragtime, and welcome to another episode of What the Hell Is He Doing Today? Today we are Garage Edition. We're in the shop again, as you can see, and we're leaning up against this Sportster. We're going to do some work on this little guy today. So, and we're going to start prepping it to take off the rear tire, and going to take the rear tire probably off to International Motorsports, somewhere like that, and just get them to put a new tire on it, probably a new rim or tube, and we'll go from there. So I know that you've probably, I'll just tell a little story as I'm doing things here. A little backstory on this particular motorcycle. This happens to be my favorite motorcycle. Don't get me wrong, I love all the bikes. Every one of our motorcycles, I love them. They're all awesome. They all have their special place. But this one here has got a little special place. This one here was, I never really saw myself as a Sportster guy, but my buddy Bill had this motorcycle, and we were riding with him in a group called XL Riders years ago. And back then I was on a Honda Shadow Sabre 1200. I think it was a 2001, something like that. And anyway, that bike was an awesome bike. It was a great starting bike. And anyway, my buddy, after a couple of years of riding, hanging out with my buddy, we became really close friends, and he decided that he was going to retire. He's a school teacher in Abbotsford, and he'd been paying into his pension heavily for years and years, and decided to take an early retirement, and that's what he did. And he moved up to the country, up to Chilcotin, which is way the hell north and east or west. Anyway, when he went up to there, he had this bike, and he had the little Honda, which you've also seen around maybe in my videos. A little Honda 1984 250 Special belt drive bike, kind of cool. But anyway, he was going to didn't know what to do with this bike, and he was selling and getting rid of all the stuff and moving his stuff up to the country. And we were talking one day, and he was saying that, he'd rather see this thing get torn apart and thrown into the freaking Georgia Strait than have some young guy buy it and end up killing themselves on it or something to that nature. And he kind of built this bike right from the factory the way he wanted it. It was factory ordered. It was lowered. Rear wheel was a spoke wheel as opposed to a solid mag, which was kind of consistent for the 1997. So he ordered it with a rear spoked wheel, and a few other things that he had done right from the factory. And then from the factory, after that he changed the risers, different bars on it, a few things like that, the mirrors, some small stuff. And then when I got my hands on it, I really wanted to keep it pretty much exactly the same way that Bill had always had it. So that was sort of my deal. So I had to make some changes to make it rideable for me, because Bill is a much smaller guy than I am in terms of height. So he just had these regular mirrors here that's kind of this mirror actually hooked on directly onto the bar. I put these extenders in so I could actually see past my shoulders. Otherwise I was just looking at my shoulders all the time. I put the windscreen on it. I'm still not done with where I want it. I'm not happy with it, but I'll mess around with that. And what else did I do to it? I put on the chrome primary cover. That's an original Harley Davidson chrome primary cover. And then I put on the forward controls. I did that as well. And then on the front side, I put on this dress-up kit, which is basically just a cover. And I did replace the rear sprocket cover. And I put in this cover here, which is for the rear brakes. So I did all this, kind of chromed it out a lot. And Bill had the custom paint job done when he bought it, and he had that custom paint job done at Haney Hogs here in Maple Ridge. So that's a really beautiful paint job. And what else did I have done to it? I think I did the chrome tops here, and I had to replace I didn't want to replace the switches. I was going to replace the housings with chrome and leave the switches as black, but one of them broke, and it was really hard to find black original Harley Davidson switches, so I ended up going to aftermarket and going to chrome, and it looks all right. So those are some of the things that I've done to this bike. But what I really love about this bike is that it's light and it's nimble and it's easy to get around and it's cheap to run. And it's simple. There's nothing on this bike. There's no ABS. There's no fuel injection. This is as basic as it gets. You got a speedometer, a tach, and that's it. So this is, I mean, you got nothing in terms of all the electronics and stuff. Very basic motorcycle, and it basically makes it really easy to maintain and to operate. Now for younger riders and stuff, they're all used to these ABS and stability control and corner stability and all this freaking stuff that you have on these new bikes. It's like, well, where's the skill? But anyway, that's just my opinion. To me, this bike is somewhat, it would be considered somewhat old school. Because of that, I mean, it's so basic, it's got nothing going on. Okay, so basically got this thing up on here. I'm going to remove some of this stuff so I can see things. So let's get her back up in there. Now also, what I've already done, I did this last night. I don't have a flat jack for the back to just lift the bike up. The little pancake jacks, I don't have one of those. So I just used a little bottle jack and a piece of angle iron with some cloth over it, and then some square tubing to hold it up, and then I can just jack it up. As you can see, I've already got it up on off the air. I can just simply, if I want a little bit more height, there you go. It's nice and stable. Got the straps on, so she's not going anywhere. Okay, so that looks to be about a 3/4 inch bolt with a cotter pin on it. That's two of them. They're both the same way. That's interesting. Goodness. Whew. That was really bent around there, wouldn't it? Whoops, don't do that. Don't scratch shit. Yeah, so I don't know if I was finished telling them my Billy story, but he decided to move up country and was getting rid of all his stuff. Didn't know what to do with the bike, and man, before I could even tell him I was going to buy it off of him, he just handed me the keys and said, "It's yours, man." And it's been very well taken care of since that day. Probably one of the nicest things an individual's ever done for me, which was really cool. And wow, that's really mangled, isn't it? Mangled that poor old cotter pin is. Yeah, one of the nicest things he'd ever done. So I kind of paid him back a little bit. Not that it was for payback, it was just because he's my buddy. But he, after he moved up to, he had spent quite a bit of time earlier before they'd moved. He bought a Toyota, one of those vans. You know, you sit right up over top of the front wheels. He loved those things. It was his second one. He had a two-wheel drive, and this one was a four-wheel drive. And he did a whole bunch of work in it right in our driveway here. But he loved that little thing, man. And anyway, he was coming back from, and he probably had more weight than his whole freaking little truck weighed on his trailer. And I was going a little bit too fast around a corner, and it took him over, smashed his little pride and joy all to shit. So anyway, I just told him, I said, "Dude, you need a real truck." So I went and picked him up. It was a lightweight. I mean, it was a half ton, But I went and picked him up I want to say late 80s, early 90s GMC, or maybe late 90s, early 2000s GMC or Chevy, I can't remember which one it was, one of those two, 1500 with an extended cab, 4x4. And I drove that up and gave that to him. And I said, you need a real truck to be doing truck type stuff. So yeah, that's what I did for him on that front. But anyway, kind of an interesting story about how I got my hands on this beautiful machine and why it happens to be one of my favorite bikes. Now, it's a rubber mallet. All right, now we're gonna move this guy forward. There we go. It's out. All right, let's go find some Mr. Clean or something to clean that with. Dude, look at this fucking tire, man. Holy crap. Wow. I've been riding around on this. I should have burned the shit out of it. But oh well. Hindsight's 50-50. So that's what a nasty tire looks like. She is definitely worn out. Where's a wear bar on this thing? There's two things you want to look for is a wear bar. Right? No. There's one. So there's a wear bar right there. You can see it. There's one there too. And one down here. See, that one's almost even with the wear bar. So is that one? It's like maybe a couple of 30 seconds, maybe. So that's telling you it's a bad. And the other thing you want to look for on tires is a date, a manufacturing date. And what's this? 30/16/40. That might be it. It's kind of, oh, there it is. It's right there, 45/04. So this tire is from 2004. This tire is 21 years old. Wow. Okay, that's not good. 21-year-old tire. I think that's it for today. We're gonna wrap it up. We got the wheel off. Got some cleaning to do on the bike, but you don't necessarily have to watch me do that. And this guy's ready to go off to International Cycles or wherever the hell else I get a quote from and get a new, probably Michelin Pilot put on there. And I'm not gonna put a Harley Davidson Dunlop on it just to pay extra money. So anyway, thanks for watching.